Toplock. Okay, so just recap on what we did on Tuesday night. So again, we polished off the side scissor position. I wanted to get this across the center line. Sometimes if I break this grip, Carl's adamant that I'm not. I only need to get it towards the center line. Or sometimes you just can't break the grip. He's just got a grip of steel. Okay. So from there, again, we're working off the premise of this grip. I mean, 90% of people inside your closed guard will be using this grip. But there's a lot of play in the lapel here. So I don't need to get the elbow past my center line, I just need to get it towards the center line. So even from there, just by bringing it to here, I have it on the inside of the hip. Now last time we looked at the easiest grip to get, which was this reverse collar grip, whereby I had a thumb inside, and then when I pull with my knees, just to get car roughly at 45 degrees, I'll climb up into the top lock position. Okay, there's two main things that Carl is going to do to close down the top lock. One, if he stays on his knees, he's going to try and turn his right shoulder inside and basically back into close guard again. The other thing he's going to do, and he's going to do this very gentle, he'll get to his feet, and then he'll start bringing his head over my head and stacking me, and that puts a lot of pressure on me, and I'll probably release and put him back into close guard. So, the grip we're going to make is an overclass cross-collar grip. For those that were here in the stand-up mesocycle, just recap on that. Say Carl makes his grip, strong hand. Okay, so from here, we looked at if Carl stiff arms this and I try to make grips, I can't get close enough to get him. And then he can go for his takedowns. But if I come underneath and I make an underclass grip, I still can't get inside because Carl's controlling that inside space. But if I bring my elbow inside here, okay, I have my elbow inside. Of course, Carl can bring it back again. So if I bring mine inside, I'll punch my hand up higher. Right? So now my arm is controlling that inside space. So now when I make that secondary grip, it's easy for me now to get my takedowns. But we looked at when we were playing the stand-up mesocycle, sometimes this grip's hard to get because Carl can use his elbow to kind of close that down. So the next scenario was the overclass grip. So when I come across, again my arm's not on the inside and Carl will be stiff arming this to keep me back because I need access to the sips to take it down. I can bring my elbow over the top to get that bend. And again, I'll punch up and get my arm inside. So then when I make that secondary grip, I now can off-balance Carl and take him over. So it's all about controlling that inside space. But again, when we were playing the stand-up mesocycle, Carl's using that elbow when I try to come under, try to come over, and he's being defensive. But from here, I can still use an outside class grip, but I can come to the cross collar. Right? It's an easier grip to get. And now from there, I can find this, break it off, controlling that inside space, and then I can play the game. So where does this fit into in our ground game? Carl's in my close guard. He's made that initial grip. Find this. Maybe I can't break it, but I get it towards the center line. Okay. And now from there, I'm going to move my head offline. Okay. And I'm coming up on an elbow, and I'm sliding a four-finger grip cross collar overclass right into the collar. Now, what's Carl going to do? He's going to stiff arm me. But now I want the inside track. So I'm going to bring my elbow to the inside, pull with my legs to get a bend in Carl's leg and his posture. And it's all about finding that sweet spot. If I don't get Carl roughly to 45 degrees, say slightly higher than that, when I start climbing to the top lock, I don't get the back of my knee where it should be, right on the shoulder. Okay? The opposite happens if I go too low. If it goes below 45, I just can't get my leg over the shoulder. So it's all about finding that sweet spot, which is why we really need to drill this. So when I'm here and Carl's stiff arming me, I'm controlling that inside space with these overclass cross collar. I use that to bend, and then I climb to get into my position. Okay? Now, from there, with this grip, I'm going to connect my elbow to the inside of my thigh. When Carl tries to turn his shoulder in, I'm moving my head this way. It's more difficult. The only other thing he can do from here is stand up and stack me. Anytime my head is under Carl's, my neck is under pressure from stacking. So immediately I just turn my head to look at it here. Okay, and again. And Carl's falling into that space. See the way his base is going? I'm not going to stay here. Obviously we're going to do the arm bar. That'll be the next move. But I just want you playing around with. Go for the stack again. I'm just turning my head. So any driving pressure is going into the mat and he's losing his base. Just look at your knees again. And then get used to being able to not let him turn his shoulder in. This grip is very, very strong. And again, we could easily break offline from the system from here and start to work our cross choke from this position, recovering it from there, just with the snugness of this. Okay, so one more time on that. Now, I can, let's just say, everything so far has been bringing the cuff across and then tightening the grip. But I can also do the opposite. Maybe I can go for this first and get this overclass cross grip, then find this, and then use that to pull down, and then I climb into the top lock. Carl tries to turn his shoulder in. Last time we played this without any grips, so we were learning how to use our pelvis off the mat and clasp with our knees. But now that we have those skills, we're adding in these two grips. So I want your partner, when you put them in this, to basically move all over the place, try to turn a shoulder in, try to stack you, and all you're going to do is try to keep the top lock and not use too much energy. Okay, Carl? Tries to turn his shoulder in, I'm moving my head this way. Now, if I keep my head here and he immediately stacks, I'm moving my head there. Makes sense? So you're kind of moving your head one way, moving your head the other way. Anytime you feel a shoulder coming in, how does that feel, Carl? It's a little bit uncomfortable. And then we'll look at taking the arm bar. Okay, so let's play back tries.